mute your audio and video throughout the session. Please put your queries in the chat box, which will be answered at the end of the session. Kindly avoid any kind of interruptions while the session is going on. Prayer is a form of raising our mind and heart to the Almighty, an awareness of His presence, an acknowledgement of His prowess and goodness. Let us all take a prayerful attitude by invoking the divine benevolence before starting the session.
Light of the world, you step down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see beauty that made His heart adore you. Hope of a life spent with you. And here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. King of all days, also highly exalted, glorious in heaven above. Humbly you came to the earth you created, all for love's sake became one. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God.
Thank you, ma'am, for leading us in prayer. A very good evening, everyone. A day to feel proud and happy for being the architect of igniting young minds with passion, dedication, and zeal. On behalf of the head and faculty members of the PG and Research Department of Chemistry, Holy Cross College, Trichy, I take this opportunity to wish all the faculty members who have gathered here on this platform a very happy Teachers' Day. Small cheers and great welcome makes a merry feast. I extend a cordial welcome to our Secretary, Reverend Sister Dr. Annie Xavier, and Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Isabella Rajakumari in absentia. Artificial intelligence is one of the most cited areas in chemistry. Artificial intelligence and chemistry are inextricably linked. AI can help with everything from molecule synthesis to molecule property identification. In this aspect, I accord a genial welcome to our resource person of the session, Dr. Madhavan Jacob, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Loyola College, Chennai, who is here to enlighten us on pros and cons of artificial intelligence in learning chemical sciences. Sir has obtained his master's degree in 2005 with University third rank, has been the UGC Project Fellow, School of Chemistry, Bharathidasan University, Trichy from July 2008 to March 2010, HGS MATCOM Visiting Research Fellow at University of Heidelberg, Germany from July 2009 to December 2009, and UGC Senior Research Fellow, Bharathidasan University, Trichy from April 2010 to March 2011 for his doctoral research. He completed his postdoctoral research at IIT Mumbai in 2012. He started his career as a faculty in the Department of Chemistry in IIT Trichy in 2013 and later joined as DST Inspire Faculty Fellow, Department of Chemistry, Loyola College, Chennai, between 2013 to June 2014, and at present he is working as assistant professor in the same institution from 2013 onwards. To his credit, Sir has published around 68 research papers in international journals with high impact factor and citations. He has worked as an adaptive author in book entitled Quantum Chemistry, 7th edition, by Levin, published by Pearson Higher Education in the year 2016. Sir has published a book chapter on activation of small molecules by transition metal complexes in a specialist periodical review called Chemical Modeling, Volume 15, published by Royal Society of Chemistry in the year 2019. He has a citation index of 947 plus and H index of 18. All these shows his excellence in research towards sustainability. Sir has received many awards such as Fellow Academy of Sciences Chennai, Reverend Father Ednapalli S.J. Award twice from Loyola College, Young Scientist Award from the Academy of Sciences Chennai in March 2022, DST Young Scientist Award in Fast Track Scheme, DST Inspire Faculty Award, DST Travel Grant to attend WATOC International Conference in Spain, CSIR Travel Grant to attend WATOC International Conference in Spain. He has successfully completed research projects entitled Computational Design of Better Catalyst for Hydrogen Generation and Storage from Formic Acid Decomposition, funded by DST under Fast Track Scheme with a grant of Rs 25 lakhs. Computational design of ionic liquid-based catalyst for industrially relevant chemical reactions with sanction grant of Rs 23 lakhs under Loyola College Times of India Major Research Project Scheme. Modeling of molecular electrocatalyst for the hydrogen oxidation with a sanction grant of Rs 35 lakhs and a DST Inspire Faculty Research Project. Sir has successfully supervised 21 master's students and produced 3 PhD scholars. 3 are doing research under his able supervision. Sir has organized many seminars, workshops, and has also given nearly 30 invited lectures. When there is burning desire, there is perseverance. When there is perseverance, there is success. This perfectly fits our resource person. I, on behalf of the management, staff, and students of the PG and Research Department of Chemistry, Holy Cross College, extend you a very warm and cordial welcome to you, sir. Welcome, sir. Leaders instill a hope for success, a belief in themselves, and empower their people to accomplish their goals. With this apt prelude, I extend a cordial welcome to our head of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. A. Lima Rose, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. I welcome all the faculty members from other institutions and from the host institutions. Welcome you one and all gathered here. So I now invite our resource person, Dr. Madhavan Jacob, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Loyola College, Chennai, to take over this session. Please, sir.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for the invitation to talk about artificial intelligence. Before I am going into the topic, I wish all the faculty members who are present in the Google Meet, I wish you happy Teachers' Day, and I wish you and pray for your good health and wealth for all kind of support and dedication you are doing for the student community. Happy Teachers' Day to all of you. So I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, is it visible, my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my slide is also visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening to all of you. This is a topic which I have been first time presenting, the pros and cons of artificial intelligence in learning chemical sciences. I'm not only sticking in terms of chemical sciences. First of all, I would like to deliver about the what is artificial intelligence, what it can do. Then we will go into the detail about the pros and cons of artificial intelligence. So you can see the application layer from infrastructure to decision making layer. We can have a variety of field. We can have n number of field ranging from chemistry, physics, information, medical, mathematics, geoscience, cyberspace, social governance. All the field it can have a wide network. But in all the cases, we have to give the input. That is a model input information has to be given in the machine learning algorithm or computer source or continual learning or natural language, that is a Python or Python or C, anything you can write, and then you can feed the data. Then the input output database, that is a layer, that has to be the key information for the artificial intelligence. So that is the human intelligence have the neurons, n number of neurons, which can have the conscious and unconscious memory layer, in which we can store the limited number of memory layer. We can have only the some kind of positive and negative information in our mind for substantially reduced time, not for longer time. If you have longer time memory, then ultimately you will not consider as a normal human being. That is all you all know. So that this is the area which is talking about. You can talk from data. The data has to be feeded, then the information will be generated. That information is used for the any kind of application. So what is artificial intelligence? The ability of machines to act in seemingly intelligent ways, making decisions in response to new inputs without being explicitly programmed. But typical computer program generate output according to the whatever the set of instruction we are given. So that there is a difference between the computer program and the artificial intelligence. So that the ability of machines to act in seemingly intelligent ways, making decisions in response to new inputs. That's what, without being explicitly programmed. So what is obviously designed to use the data-driven models to make predictions. So we are giving, for example, in chemistry, we have the reagent, that is a substrate, which is combined together to form the product. In order to accelerate the product, we are providing catalyst as well as additives. But we don't know what kind of end product we will obtain. But we will plot the rate constant versus a parameter, whether this parameter it can be a concentration, temperature, or additive concentration. Then you can have the n number of correlation. That correlation can be made here, so that the for data driven modeling, this is what uh, linear free energy relation, chemometrics, chemoinformatics, machine learning, all the things. So in all the cases, we have the set of catalyst database that has to be generated for the each set of reaction. You can have 1,000 reaction, for example, ranging from substitution, addition, substitution, and then elimination. You can have a n number of catalyst, n number of substrate. All the information has to be stored in the database. That database has to be generated. Once it is generated, then we can have the what kind of synthetic method retrosynthesis are designed. Then we can also generate the mechanism and the insight that can be predicted with the kinetic and the computational chemistry come into the picture for reaction modeling. In terms of modeling the reaction, then we can get the G value, delta H value. From that, we can predict that some kind of descriptor. These all things has been informed in input in terms of machine, then we can combine together, we can get the input and output relationship. So what basically we are doing, first trained on the representative data set with known output values, thereby we can develop the relationship between input and output. That's what we are making. So these input we are providing that is obtained from the lot of experimental observation and the experiment we performed in the laboratory or in the pharmaceutical company or industry. All the input data has been stored in terms of database or in the machine learning, so that the resulting trained models can then be used to predict output values of data. That is a mining. You are mining the data. Once it is mined, then you are giving the algorithm to combine all together. Then you will get the final output that can be give the new set of information. This is like you are storing the data and then you are utilizing the data by whatever the way you need it. So the resulting the you are model the particular input output relationship. Once you get the trained model, from that you get the predicted output, that is a value, the data that is also you are providing. So once you give the similar to the training set or generate the new data, these generate the new data that will have a complex input and output relationship. You can see n number of relationships. You can't have the you can't think with your brain. We can't think with our brain, human brain, so that we need the machine and the computer performance. This is a simple ChemML software where it is utilized by the particular person. That is a machine learning. So you can give the input and represent. Then you can prepare. You can model by changing the kinetic parameter, everything. You can optimize. Then you can visualize the output. Once it is generated, this is one kind of machine learning. The other example in terms of biofertilizer or chemical transformation in terms of chemical engineering, you can see the renewable biomass plants, non-renewable, everything is given as a feedstock, and then chemical transformation happening in the reactor that will be applicable in the energy sector and the environmental. You can have the n number of product. It depends on the product, the field will be vary. Fuels, semiconductor, material, plastic, fertilizer, detergent, pharmaceutical, food. So that you can see here, we are providing the symbol input. That input obtained from our own knowledge, which is done in the chemical laboratory or in your chemical lab. Then that input is given and you can generate the n number of database. That database is generated, then this database will be fed in the machine and it will create the new set of data, which is identify the correlation between the input and the output. Then you can have a new set of data. That is difficult and impractical to model procedurally. That's why the opportunity for AI. This is the opportunity of AI for solving the difficulty or impractical to model the complex input and output relationship. This is what all about. So this is needed the programming knowledge. Once you have the programming knowledge, then you can get the set of data. Once you get the set of data, you can model it and you can optimize it. Then you can relate the data between the correlation. That's what in this particular diagram you can see all kind of correlation. Once it is done, you can have a artificial intelligence. Why suddenly it is the artificial intelligence is arised among the scientific community right from 2010, nearly 10 years, 13 years ago, because explosive growth in computing power open source machine learning framework, that is what MLP, that is machine learning operating software, then increasing data literacy among chemists. We are all technologically much more advanced. That's the way we are believe. But how much advanced, that some point of people, we are very much excellent in terms of developing their own software for their need. So this is a, you can see here, they have predicted the solubility may also be accomplished by an AL program that has developed the structure solubility relationship after being trained on the numerous compounds with the known solubilities. This is a paper which is published in recent peer-reviewed journal. So they, what they are doing, so they have the set of molecules, they have developed the quantitative structure property relationship, and then they have feed into the machine learning, and also they have calculated the solubility parameters. Once it is done, they have calculated the quantum mechanics and molecular mechanics method to calculate the some kind of parameter which is related to solubility. Once it is done, they can correlate with the thermodynamic equation. Sorry, these are all the open source machine learning software which is available in the computer science, chemistry, all the things. Even you can see the some of the software which is which I shown here. The ChemML is also one of the open source software. So what is a sudden peak in the artificial intelligence? Why? Because of the explosive growth in computing power, the large amount of development happening in terms of open source machine learning framework, and the increasing data literacy knowledge among the chemists. So, AI implementation have prone to dramatically reduce design and the experimental effort. You know, you can have the setup, you can see the laboratory automation. They have developed the automation in terms of avoiding scientists to be placed here. Instead of scientists, the automation can be done. You can see the consequences of automation. There is no research scholar or any other person who is standing here. That is one of the major drawbacks we are going to discuss in the upcoming slides. You can see the reaction condition. You can have the n number of reaction. I'm not going into the details of the reaction, but I'm just showing the correlation made, how the reaction condition can be modeled by using the artificial intelligence. You can feed all the data. Once it is feeded in the future, if you have, for example, if you take DMAD, in the case of triphenyl phosphine, the yield is 1.1 in the using the DHF solvent. So that memory is taken again, and if you do the reaction with the DMAD, immediately you will get the information, and it will give the sort of data K, delta G, delta H, all the information you can get within a minute. So, and also you can have the bioreactivity drugs, no new drugs. Yeah, you can see the process of developing drugs. Target identification, you need to have the protein, structure of the protein, particular protein, whether it is a viral or a bacteria or fungi, you need a target protein. Once you have the target protein, you need active site, then active site residue, then you need to have the lead molecule. Once you have the lead molecule, you can generate the n number of lead molecule. Then you need to dock with this protein structure. Then you need to get the virtual screening, drug target interaction. These are all bioinformatics and chemoinformatics job. Once it is done, you have to refer the experimental person, try to synthesize this kind of compound with this kind of skeletal, enantiomeric or diastereomeric, all the things. Once it is done, we need to predict the toxicity, because if it is stored in the kidney, or how it will execrate from the body. So that kind of information we have to develop using this solubility, and then we need to develop the how kind of toxicity prediction. Once it is done, then you have to preclinical screening. Once it is done with the preclinical trial match, then they will go with the efficacy and safety on the human. Then uh, at the time of the clinical trial, we need to know the outcome prediction, side effect, all the things. Then it has to be approved by the FDA, or the drug has to be reviewed and then approved. It will take nearly less than 1.5 years, more than 3 years. That these kind of information, it can be done within the fraction of time, but all the things can be done by using the artificial intelligence, because you have stored the data and you have developed the complex input output relationship. Similarly, we can develop the synthetic route to complex target molecule. You believe it or not, I did my PhD in the field of reaction modeling. I have taken the reaction and I have the catalyst and I model the reaction. I have put myself, what can I say, the reaction mechanism. No, experimentally they can propose the reaction mechanism, but myself as a computational chemist, based on the experimental information, all available information, as per my knowledge, I will propose the schematic theme, and then I will try to get the experimental uh, scheme. Once it is done, then I can give the entire talk on the uh, no experimental information. Then we will propose the geometrical information. But what happens here, in the case of if you use a AI, ultimately what will happen, this will not work it out in terms of uh, sorry for the information, sorry, 1 minute, I will try to show the some kind of slide which is related to what we are doing in terms of okay, I could not find that time. Yeah, now you can see that synthetic route, now within a fraction of time, you need not write any reaction mechanism. This artificial intelligence, the automated synthetic monitor, will give the shortest and lowest energy pathway with the energy data. That is the development which is going to happen in the near future. So that is the advantage. You can predict the synthetic route easily for the complex target molecule. And then you can see the chemical space, AI structure property. You can get the target molecule. For example, you can generate the target molecule using 10 power 7, even infinite number of compounds. Then you can develop the structure property relationship. From there you can see the space. These are all the molecules. So existing compound and the new chemical entity, they will develop the new chemical entity. So the AI based retrosynthesis, reaction condition prediction, and then it will automated the discovery of new chemical reaction. So that normally these all information is feeded in the database, data mining, as I told you in the previous slide, so that it will be done. So the artificial intelligence in terms of chemistry, it is very useful in predicting the molecular property, natural language processing, retrosynthesis, drug discovery, molecule design for drug, wastewater treatment, nanotechnology, and reaction outcome. These all information can be done in terms of 3 steps: design, assay, design, synthesis. These all put together in terms of AI. That information, you remember, these information is stored in the database. Right from the invention of the first reaction till today, all the information has been stored in the automated artificial intelligence, so that it will give the data from the data mining, it will give the respective the information, whatever you are searching for. This is a particular thing. So you can see here the latest development in terms of drug discovery. That paper is appeared in the Science. Now the researcher at Hong Kong based in silico medicine and the University of Toronto, they have utilized the artificial algorithm. They have picked about 30,000 unexplored molecular combinations by using artificial intelligence algorithm. Out of that, they have been shortlisted about 6 promising new medical compounds without doing any single reaction in the chemical lab. So whatever the step I told you, these all the steps they have done with the help of AI, and then they have done the developments in terms of producing 6 promising new medical compounds. So last 50 years, we have put all try to paracetamol synthesis of paracetamol and try to identify once you have synthesized, then you are putting with the protein or target protein or target viral. Then we have the particular activity. Once it is done, you have the n number of assay and you have the active site. Then you find out the lead molecule. Once you got the lead molecule, you can again. So this is what molecular editing and machine learning today it is happening. So the evaluation of synthesis as a driver of innovation in discovery. So it is a retro synthesis, all kind of information. It will be automated and it will be screened in the using machine learning and molecular editing. So you can see the another example. There are selection of 96 papers which is published in the field of AI pertaining to the artificial intelligence. They have developed the model and they have identified the toxicity of 30 different compounds using 20 toxicity database. So this is what the advantages of toxicity prediction using AI. You can see here compound collection, and then they have done the in vitro study, either a cytotoxic or any kind of toxicity effect. Then they have developed the organic synthesis molecule. Then they will go with the in vitro, in vivo analysis. Then once it is done, they will go for clinical trial. Then they will identify whether it is toxic or not. But so far from 2014, 96 paper has been published in developing the toxicity prediction using AI models. So these are all the step. Another paper which is related to in the year 2021, it was published. They have the toxicity, that is the same paper. The another way of they have presented all the data, and then how they are predicting the toxicity. They will utilize the chemical structure, biomolecular, in vitro. That is what I have discussed. These all kind of information has been has been feeded. Wait, sorry for the few minutes. 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. Now, these information, you can see the how kind of job, how difficult you can see the complex steps which is involved in the toxicity prediction. So you can see here, what are the pros? Now, what are the pros? You can see the advantage, and as well as we are going to discuss the cons. The does not get tired, wear out easily. Rational decision maker, application in medical industry, accurate decision making, selfless with no breaks. But major advantages of artificial intelligence, one is improving the efficiency. So I can't put any picture out of it because the picture will not give the information directly. so that I have edited some kind of articles which is written by the particular person. That information also you can find out in the footnote. You can see the reference. From there I have presented. So I am presenting from there. So what is the first ever advantage? It will improve the efficiency. It will improve the efficiency. It will avoid to do the repetitive and the kind time consuming task in order to free up the employee to focus on more complex and creative work, so that it will ultimately our task become very faster and more accurately than human, reducing the time and the effort. That is the first ever thing. You keep it in your mind. It will improve the efficiency. Then the reducing the error rate. Human error always, even in analytical chemistry, we can often see the personal error. The personal error, determinant error, indeterminate error. Likewise, in the when you do the any kind of activity, error is common and occurrence. So that the human error can be costly, but in the field of medicinal, chemical, and industry, if you do the single error, it will allow the bigger damage to the industry. So that in order to avoid the healthcare, finance, and industry, so that it will reduce the error. AI can help reduce error rate by identifying the patterns and anomalies that humans might miss, so that it will not repeat. The AI powered system can also learn from past mistake, improving accuracy over time. Improving accuracy. Note down here, improving accuracy means we only giving the input. Keep it always in your mind. You are only creating the artificial intelligence by using your own human intelligence. Okay, our own intelligence you are utilizing, and then try to develop the automated intelligence by helping us. That's a very important thing. So that improving accuracy, the improving accuracy is in our hand. Then third one, predictive analytics. For forecast, or today they have given the prediction the rain is for another 5 days in Chennai and Delta areas, but we don't know exactly how much it is accurate. So that the AI can analyze the vast amount of data. It is also, again, I am saying, it is a data which is correlated like linear free energy, Emmet relationship. Then from there, you can get the complex data structure that has to be handled by the machine learning or high performance computing. From there, you can get the prediction and the forecast. This capability can be useful in various industries, in the business and the finance and marketing. So the power business intelligence can help companies tailor their product in stock marketing or trading. You can have the efficient information. Even if you have the customer data, then one can enhance their sale performance. So that this is a predictive analytics is one of the important advantage. It is also applicable in chemistry, where you can have the n number of catalytic data, where which catalyst is suitable for this kind of substitution or elimination. So we can available for 24 into 7. We can normally work for 6 hours or 8 hours. Not often, even if we between 8 hours, we can have always chat with our own friends. We can sometime we can sleep, so that, but the AI will not do such kind of activity. It will not take rest until you are instructed. So that it is a 24 into 7 without any break. They don't even get bored, unlike humans. So faster decision. Now you can take the decision faster than a human and carry out the action quicker. This is like Indiran movie, in Rajini Sankar movie. You can see the what kind of action which is taking place. So using AI alongside other technologies, we can make the decision as much as faster and carry out quicker. So while taking the decision, we are normally emotionally, empathetically, we are very weak. so that practically we are not ready to take some kind of decision in emotional and sad motion, so that AI can take the decision and try to go faster. New invention. Now AI is powering many invention in almost every domain, which will help ourselves to solve the major problem. Example, the recently you can see here AI based technology. If we hold it for our in our human breast, ultimately it will identify the cancer in the early stage. Last week you got the news in the you can see the news in the papers, daily magazine. So that helping in repetitive jobs. You can see here how many people are working the same job, but in our day-to-day work, we were performing the many repetitive work like sending, thanking mail. That's what artificial intelligence enabled the chat GPT. It is sending the mail on behalf of us. You have to edit, even you have to edit. So that using artificial intelligence, we can productively automate these task, this unwanted, the regular task. No regular task. Somebody every day they will send the good morning message. Even they will not bother whether the opposite person is reading or not. Whether they have downloaded or not. But often we are sending the good morning prayer messages to all other groups we are belonging to, irrespective of the uh, irrespective of thinking about what others thought. We are sending every day. So that kind of attitude and options can be done by the AI. That is similar kind of thing you can also do with the computer. So we can also take risk. You instead of human, we can you take the risk on the AI. So that is the biggest advantages of AI. So the biggest advantages of AI, so AI robot, as you know, the some of the movie, even Google Kuttappa, the recent movie acted by K.S. Ravikumar, that movie they have developed the robot in order to help K.S. Ravikumar. The son is working at too far away from village, so that is even that movie itself, the Google Kuttappa, what kind of cons related to using robot, that aspect also uh, seen in the movie. So we can overcome many risky limitations of human. So you can see here, let it be going to Mars. Already we are landed in the uh, no moon. So soon we will also discuss about what is the surface temperature. Directly we can calculate using the Aditya. So we can go to Mars. Now instead of we will go, we can send the robot, AI developed robot. Then they will diffuse a bomb, and what will happen in the particular thing, whether we can identify the natural or man-made disaster. So the cost reduction by automating tasks, reducing need for human labor, so we can cut down the task cost effective, and we can develop all the information put together. It will avoid the usage of lot of chemicals and lot of cost wise. You can see the one more example. I told you 96 paper. They have 20 toxicity database. From there, they entered with the 30 toxicity compound, and they have identified out of 30,000, they have developed the six new compound. So this is what the cost reduction. Additionally, the business can use AI streamline supply chain management, so inventory cost and optimizing delivery routes. So what is the cons? That is very important. My dear participants, you are aware that development of biotechnology will leads to have a lot of development in our human medical areas. But what happened? The stem cell technology, as well as the all kind of developments which is made. Yes, very good. But what happens? What is the excretion mechanism of bio waste? That leads to the complex scenario in the earth crust. You are doing lot of new invention by changing the gene, by changing the chromosome, by changing the DNA, skeleton morphology, but at the end, the output of that morphology changing in terms of gene or DNA or protein. What is the output? What is the consequences? You can see the some kind of movie like Spider-Man or Hulk, other movies. When you change genetically by using the some kind of modification, it will lead to the evil kind of effect. So that's my first one, first ever cons of artificial intelligence: job displacement. We will lose the job. You can see the picture. Instead of these repetitive job, ultimately they will send you out. So instead of 10,000 person needed for the particular job completion, but they will, if artificial intelligence is in the place, ultimately the 10,000 is not needed. Only two or three or at least 10 are needed in order to automate the artificial intelligence. So that what about 9,990 people, where they will go? So as AI powered system become more prevalent, they may replace a human in future. Ultimately, I am not, when I prepare this slide, I am worried about my son or my grandson or your grandson, what they will do, whether how much IQ level they will have in order to develop the AI. If you belong, if you depend on someone, are you novel in terms of chemistry, but are you innovative, are you effective, are you very active in terms of doing your own duty? Think about that. The cost and the complexity, in order to develop AI, as I mentioned in the earlier thing, the last ever pros of artificial intelligence: cost reduction. Yes, obviously, for doing the bigger task, one drug has to be developed for 3 years. For 3 years, amount of human salary, amount of chemical expenses, amount of in vitro, in vivo, in silico studies, how much money has been done. But all the information put together in terms of hardware, software, infrastructure, that is a one thing. That is a server room. You can see the many movies. You can see the hardware, software, infrastructure, server has to be maintained and then updated. So there are three things. One is the implementation, maintaining, and updation. These three are very important. Implementation require more cost. It require infrastructure. It require vast development in terms of hardware and software. Once it is done, only you can enjoy the fruit, but it has to be implemented. Once it is implemented, you have to maintain and update it. That is a very important thing. The third one, biased algorithm. It is very, you can easily understood. When Yandiran movie, the villain changed the algorithm of the particular Yandiran, which is developed by Rajinikanth. Ultimately, you can, that Yandiran become the, that robo become the enemy to the human and the social society. So that kind of biased algorithm, if you develop, ultimately you will not have the social and economic equality and unfair treatment and discrimination, even destructive purpose. That's what the fourth point: security risk. you know you can have the movie called Irumbuthirai, any n number of movies. You can your ATM pin, everything can be breaches by using cyber attack or anything. Even today, everyone will have the will get the call from unknown numbers. They are saying, I got the missed call from your number. When I am talking with you now, I am presenting the talk in terms of artificial intelligence. Somebody asking me, they are giving the call from Calcutta or Andhra Pradesh. They are saying that I got two missed call from your number. I don't know whether how I did the call, whether I have developed the artificial intelligence, that I know. So these kind of security risk, if you attend the number call, no, ultimately they will stole your entire information from your phone is stolen. No, even you can get the mail from somebody. You got 2 lakhs or any other information. Immediately they will get entire mobile information. So all of you taken the photo of your ATM card, credit card, all the information which can be stored in terms of Google Pay, Phone Pay, everything will be attacked, and they will get the money from your own accounts. So that this is a security risk. You can't believe anyone. Anytime any kind of cyber attack will be happen. If the power cut is happening, no problem. You can't do anything. So that's what the next cons. As we become more reliant, on AI, ultimately we also become more dependent on technology. This is what I told you in the pros. Uh, you know, even you can see in the Google Kuttappa movie how he addicted and how he emotionally interact with the robot, so that ultimately the people become lazy. Today our students are writing assignments copied from one student that become changed from, they instead of copying from one top student, they are copying from chat gpt. They are writing the assignment question, the chat gpt is given, without reading that they are giving the assignment. So ultimately what will happen, one stage your mind become corrupted. Your mind forget to think what you are. You lose identity. I'm not exaggerating, I'm saying the real fact. Already we are lazy, we become lazy because of the utilizing the excess utilization of the mobile phone. Think about, my dear, how our own family members addicted to the mobile phone or Facebook, Twitter, all kind of technology development. We can say this generation are called Z generation, but you think about that. What is the problem with too much dependence on technology? AI lacks human touch and difficult some people to accept it. This technology cannot replicate human emotion and communication. But one stage, if the nurse or doctor is doing operation, you imagine if you are crying with a lot of pain or labor pain or anything, they will not bother. They will not bother. Their instruction is given. Automated cardiac surgery means they will do. That's it. Think about that. That's what we are bothering about healthcare and education. This human emotion is not connected. Even that is absent in the during the corona period. That's why we are facing lot of difficulty by teaching our own students after corona. They are not emotionally interconnected with us, even with their family members. Think about that. So that if you choose any kind of technology, what is the pro? Instead of thinking too much on pros, thinking about cons. The cons is too much cruel than pros. Privacy concern, no privacy, no more privacy. As I told you already, no improvement with the experience. No, artificial intelligence cannot be improved with the experience. They can perform the same function. Again, if no different command is given to them. As I told you in the previous slide, it has to be the accuracy is improved, so that with the time it can lead to wear and tear. It stores a lot of data, yes, but the way it can be accessed and used is very different from human intelligence. But once you addicted, you forget your own intelligence. Your own intelligence is superior than artificial intelligence, because this AI is created by us, not by AI. Also, they can't cope up with the dynamic environment, so they are unable to alter their response to changing environments. So we are constantly bombarded by the question whether it is really exciting to replace human with the machine. Artificial intelligence does not have feelings, which there is nothing like working with the whole art or with the full passion for them. Just you are animated. This is what, whether you hungry or not, it will not bother, it will give food. There is no sense of belonging or togetherness or a human touch. So hardworking individual or inefficient individual, that you have to think. So this is in nutshell. You can see efficiency and accuracy. Yes, very good. But what about the controllability? You can't have control. Effective data orchestration and analysis, but don't have any emotion. Without emotion, you can't find any kind of addiction. That's the one thing. The reducing cost, yes, cheaper product, but degradation, unable to self repair. You can't repair. No, that will not self reconcile. Improving human decision making, a reduced number of jobs for human. You can improve, but ultimately you lost your job. Improving human workflow, but high cost. The mechanical advantage, but lacking creativity and out of box thinking. Because these two things has been given by us. It is human intelligence. So understanding high dimensional data, but what about the ethical consideration? Even all the ethical consideration I have told you. So that what I can say, I can't conclude. It is a developing area, but I can say I clearly already pinpointed my own views on artificial intelligence. Yes, it involves it will play a vital role in our lives in the future, but we have the significant challenge. It can predict healthcare, climate change, but what are the potential risks or drawback? It developed and deployed in a responsible and ethical manner. If it is not done, you will be under problem. This will require collaboration between industry, so that we need to develop the ethical and responsibility by collaboration with the industry leader, policy maker, to avoid the potential risk. Finally, the impact of AI on society is complex and multifaceted. Yes, as you see, the impact of AI is multifaceted, but AI has potential to improve many aspects of society. Very good. But the widespread adoption of AI could lead to significant job loss, expert inequality, and raise concern about privacy and surveillance. These three are very important. And also emotion. There is no emotion at all. The ensure benefits of AI are realized while minimizing its potential drawback. It is essential to development and deployment with caution, that you should aware. So that this is what my conclusion from the knowledge gained from the papers published so far in the field of AI. So that, see, my dear participants and all the person present in this particular Google Meet, I humbly request you, my intelligence is superior than the intelligence developed by the us. So that one should not control whichever we developed, even though whichever we developed by human, which should not control us. That's the identity. That's why the God created this world and handed over to human, not to the flies or uh, any other insect or any other living things which is present in this world. So that as a human, we are we have to be responsible in developing the good society with equality. All persons would have the employment potential and the privacy and surveillance. If it is not available with any development, that development is not needed. Even the outcome of corona is the corona, the pandemic, lockdown, everything is the outcome of one kind of scientific invention. You can infer what kind of trouble and the disaster we have faced during the COVID lockdown. Think about that. I wish you all the best. You can learn many things in the upcoming days in the area of artificial intelligence. I thank the Department of Chemistry especially head of the department, and all the faculty members of Holy Cross College for giving this opportunity to showcase whatever the knowledge inferred in the field of artificial intelligence. Thank you once again for all of your con- constant listening and kind attention. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for meticulously sharing the pros and cons of artificial intelligence in chemical sciences in a very logical manner. I'm sure everybody has got a holistic view on artificial intelligence. Dear participants, kindly post your queries in the chat box.
Yeah, I can see Dr. C. Uma Mageshwari, madam, asked about the synthetic chemist experiment, but the knowledge level which is possessed by our own students is this during the pandemic level is less, but we are having the responsibility to develop the knowledge level or impart the knowledge level to the students. No, we are as a guide, we should have the responsibility to enhance the knowledge level and impart the ethics along with the ethics. No, the good attitude and approach of research, performing the wonderful research. The research should be novel and ethically good oriented research. Yes, obviously the AI can enhance your synthetic route, but ultimately at the end of the day, you have to perform the organic reaction by stating that this reaction pathway is seems to be more feasible. That proposal has been made by you and your scholar. Okay, with that, even that information has been proposed or inbuilt implemented by person like us. Thank you.
Dr. Rachel, Natasha Mary, and Mr. Sindhil, you can post your query in the chat box.
Can you read it, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I think they haven't posted their queries yet, sir.
They are only posting thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we Chintan Parit. Actually, I'm going to organize one workshop on chemoinformatics and bioinformatics. If possible, I can share with all of you in within this year end. So I will inform you. I will definitely send you the brochure.
And Mr. Subramaniam has asked, how about the IBM RXN?
IBM RXN. Yeah, there are n number of open source software or automated which can give the lab operation. Okay, so whatever, whichever it is adaptable or suitable for you, you can go through that. But at the end, what I can say, it is all about whether you have the enough knowledge to read and try to understand the information which is provided in the IBM RX. Subramanian sir, I hope you understand what I mean. Whatever the automated information, even that information has to be studied by us, that should be known by us. Yeah, that is a very good open source software, IBM RXN, we can utilize.
Sir, participants are very much eager to know about the workshop details.
I am planning, madam. It is under pipeline.
Yes.
I will inform you. The camera is not working.
Ms. Tainmori has thanked for sharing the basic knowledge, impacts, pros and cons of AI. Mr. Salim Miran has raised a query. In data-driven models, if unauthentic or wrong experimental inputs has given, This would lead to possible is that would lead to possible false output.
No, ma'am. Although you are, you can take this way. We can have the n number of experiment we are performing. Uh, at the end, we are proposing the data, our own experimental observation, by stating that which is the superior data. There is no falsification of data, which is not possible. It will easily identify within a fraction of time. That's the other thing. No, whatever the repeated or routine work can be done, or salami slicing can be done, that can be that is not possible. With the Alexa, they have written one paper in Nature. Maybe I can share it. I am afraid about what I am doing today. It is not meaning. It is going to be meaningless another 10 years. That's a when I went to Bombay, I have discussed with my own supervisor where I have done postdoctoral fellowship last month, August 15. That time I saw the paper in the Science and Nature. They have been utilized Alexa and ADP, Chart GPT. They have written paper and they have also predicted the reaction energetics. That's what we are doing, but that is going to be meaningless by another 5 to 10 years. That means we have to be more innovative and uh, knowledge, much more knowledge than AI. Is it possible or not? But we are going to be screwed. On what basis, which data we given train the machine to ADME prediction? Even ADME prediction, you are developing the ADME prediction. You give the particular molecule and your absorption, all the ADME properties you are predicting. Okay, this is developed by the set of data. When you develop the ADME, we need to have the all kind of information which is already stored in the database. Normally, what is the software? Wow, they are developing the software program. Even I am using Gaussian. That program has been implemented by taking carbon, oxygen, individually all the element, electrostatic charge, electron, their solubility, all the things they have been implemented. That information it can be stored in terms of smiley. In computer, it will be only digital analog 0 and 1, all the information. So it can be given in terms of 0 and 1. Ultimately, we will get the ADME prediction. So this is what normally it is happening. Okay. So that means if you on what basis which data we given to train the machine to ADME prediction. That kind of no, the people will work already. They have been done lot of things on solubility. We even in the case of ionic liquid, we can give the molecule, it will give the solubility, all other data. So we need not give any data already. The AI has been developed and it is implemented. It is under experimentation. Another 5 years, you can see the development. I think most of the scientific experimental results were come by trials and error. If we depend only on it, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Gunapriya. If you rely on your AI, ultimately you lose to your originality, novelty, and you are not innovative. You become lazy, you become dependent on technology. Where is your innovative? Where is your knowledge level? That has to be scrutinized after using AI.
And, Mr. Krishnamurthy Arumugam has raised a query. What are the useful ML open source software you can recommend for computational chemistry or material chemistry? And similar
Actually,
kind of question from Sendil Kumaran. What is the basic language for us to
can
learn
you
AI?
can you elaborate for what purpose? What is the application you are going to use? Are you available in the chat box?
Mr. Krishnamurthy Arumugam, are you there?
It depends on your own need. You have to take n number of software. Eh, Okay. So
Materials design, sir, he has posted.
yeah, you can see here, I can share one paper that open says, sorry, I can share one paper link which is published in Journal of Chemical Information Modeling, very latest. You can go through that, and then it's not coming. Got the message, my message. Yeah. Now the another question.
That is from Mr. Subramaniam. For collecting data from PubChem like web server, they collect money or not?
Sorry.
Uh, for collecting data from PubChem like web server, do they collect money like that? Mr. Subramaniam has posted a query.
Subramanian sir, in what kind of information you are collecting data? If you need the geometry PubChem, ultimately you can download in terms of mole file or smile file. You need not pay any money. You need not pay money for any publication or any kind of smiley data downloading.
For prediction of admit parameters, he has given, sir.
Sorry?
For prediction of ADME, I think admit parameters,
They will pay.
ADME parameters.
But there are free software which is available, open source software is available for prediction of ADME property. Using that, otherwise you can collaborate with any of the person and you can freely get it. I never paid a single penny for uh, any of the paper, even any of the kind of data collection. Maybe I can share one of the another paper in Nature Chem, which is Nature Swiss ADME with free web tool to predict the evaluate the pharmacokinetics, drug likeness, and medicinal chemistry friendliness of small molecule. That software you can go through that paper, which is I pasted in the chat box. You can go through it and you can get the information.
So another question is that how clinical trials can be done through artificial intelligence?
Actually, ma'am, the clinical trial, I'm not very clear, but based on the information I read today, right from today and yesterday, what they can do already, they whatever the clinical trial they have done, that information and the cell line, everything will be stored. It is, as I clearly mentioned, it is the entire development of AI is explosive growth in computing power, open source, utilizing the open source machine learning framework and our knowledge level, the literacy, so that it all the information putting together, they have feed. So that, for example, if you are isolating or characterizing the plant-based phytochemical, you are taking ginger and you are extracting one chemical, gingerone. Then from there, you are studying the cytotoxicity or cytotoxicity of the particular compound. That compound is already known. No, the compound which is already known, the gingerone is taken from many other phytochemicals. Ultimately, what will happen? Many other plants, the same kind of protein or the cell taken for the cytotoxicity or anti-cancer or antimicrobial, antibacterial, they have correlate with this. That's the way they are doing. These are all the input is given by. We need to develop the data mining. One of my junior from IIT Bombay is developing the data set now. After 6 months, he will give the prediction for our work, so that you have to develop your own database and then it will be implemented. Python and Porton, I think.
The basic language to learn AI.
Python அல்லது Porton நினைக்கிறேன்.
Yes, sir. And also, thank you, sir, for sharing the link for open source machine learning in computational
Python.
chemistry and Nature. The link for Nature journal. Both the links are put up in the chat box.
Any other question?
Ma'am, with no further queries, shall we move on to the vote of thanks session, ma'am?
Yes, Priya.
Yes,
Proceed, proceed.
Be thankful for what you have. You will end up having more. I profusely thank our resource person, Dr. Madhavan Jacob, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Loyola College, Chennai, for meticulously sharing his views on pros and cons of AI in chemical sciences. Sir has clearly explained the reason for the rise in the use of artificial intelligence among scientific community and how AI implementation reduce design and experimental effort by lab automation, predicting bioactivities of drugs, and so on. It is quite awesome to note that AI algorithm has picked 30,000 unexplored molecule combinations, eventually leading to promising new medical compounds. And AI can make machines work 24/7, takes a risk instead of humans. Sir has clearly enlightened us on the pros and cons of AI in a very simple, crystal clear manner. We came to know about the cons of AI like job displacement, security risk, and emotional detachment. We have clearly understood that our intelligence is always superior to the intelligence created by us, as said by you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I also take this opportunity to thank Dr. A. Limaros, Head and Associate Professor of the PG and Research Department of Chemistry, Holy Cross College, for always showing keen interest and putting committed efforts in enabling the department to reach greater heights. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Priya.
Ma'am. I thank the organizers, Dr. J. Roslyn Vimala, Dr. Kanmani, Dr. Vidya, and Dr. Kavita, and all the faculty members of the PG and Research Department of Chemistry, Holy Cross College. I thank all the faculty members from other institutions for the sincere and active participation. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
ma'am.
Yeah, a very nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Can I leave, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosalie, ma'am. Priya, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Dear
ma'am.
participants, kindly fill the feedback form.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, happy Teachers' Day to all of you.
Happy Teachers' Day, sir.
Dear participants, kindly fill the feedback form. The link is put up in the chat box.